that point of time, I wasn't trying to macam make fun of them. Aku literally macam, how do you get 1 plus? Apa ni? How is this 3 1? You know, and aku confused lah.
Like, how does it make sense lah?
And one thing yang aku learn, you should never ask orang yang tak tahu pasal agama, because sometimes they are Christian but they're not practicing. Macam kita orang Islam,
correct.
You know, macam aku dulu tak tahu apa-apa, aku tanya orang yang terdekat dengan aku, dia orang pun bukannya scholar,
expert sini.
Bukan ustaz apa. Kita kalau nak tahu, kita kena ask the right source lah.
Correct.
So aku tanyalah member-member aku kan, yang ada, apparently Christian churches, diorang ada macam diorang punya father, pastor
Pastor
kan. And then lepas tu diorang punya leader tau, group leader. And then they will attend to a few groups, macam small group tau. So aku spoke to that brother, you know.
That small, macam those small religious groups kira macam section commander lah. Macam section commander. Kira pastor dia punya PC, dia betul commander ni kira section commander.
Pasal dulu aku duduk Bukit Batok, depan rumah aku Protestant church. So aku kadang-kadang masuk, habis aku macam just ask question lah kan.
Pasal kau protes lah?
Tak lah Syul.
Pasal
kau jangan literal lah.
Okay.
Sebab tu don't need to state the obvious. Tadi aku cakap
so anyways, that Protestant church.
So anyways, apa yang aku learn about Trinitarian was that, okay lah, marketing power, but aku genuinely had a lot of question yang bila aku tanya, diorang tak bagi aku jawapan lah Syut. Diorang bagi aku smoke screen lah.
Okay, kau kasih an example of the question that you ask and the response that you
aku
get.
Tanya
Okay.
Aku tanya, I want to ask you how you came about the way you pray. Macam contoh, how you do the like that or do this, like because I'm trying to find the history because if I want to believe in any religious books, I need to trace back the history, authentic or not, you know.
Okay.
So dia cakap, actually it doesn't matter how you pray is between you and God. Even if you lay down or whatever. Aku macam okay, I get it, that sounds nice. But aku nak tahu the origin ni, mana datang ni mana datang. Bro, I can tell you 8 out of 10 Christian I spoke to, they didn't know bro.
The history of kenapa dia,
how did that prayer came about.
And
aku pun read up lah in some of the Bible kan. Kan ada few versions kan. The most famous is NKV dengan King James lah. So aku do a brief read lah. Then aku tengok ada satu part ni at the Garden of Gethsemane where Jesus actually tunjuk macam mana dia pray. So dia tulis kat Bible tu, he fell to his face and prostrated.
To the
so aku
ground.
macam prostrated apa sah? So aku look it up. Dan aku macam ni sujud ni kan.
Sujud.
So aku macam aku macam tanya, wait, Jesus prayed like that? He never, how Then they can answer things like, no, actually it doesn't matter how you pray. Aku tu macam, you're not getting my point. So aku geram. Honestly, when aku was trying to learn Christianity, aku got very agitated dengan perangai diorang yang suka beat around the bush. So
never straight to the point lah.
Makin aku nak tahu, makin aku turn off . You know, like things like macam, like Mother Mary wear a veil. You know, kadang-kadang diorang rasa macam kita punya orang wanita ni kena oppress pasal pakai hijab. Habis aku macam
tapi Mother Mary wear a veil.
Nanda pun pakai
kan? Nan pun pakai tudung ke? Bukan tudung lah.
Nan butter chicken sedap tu.
Okay. So I'm not the only stupid one here.
Mine is that joke. I'm not stupid.
I'm not stupid too.
Part 2. Okay. So and a lot of other questions bro. Aku tanya macam like, how come dekat your Bible say that Jesus say that my father is greater than I? That means he's separate entity what? Oh no, then dia cakap Jesus manifest in the human form to bring himself to human level so human can relate or something like that lah. Aku tak tahu.
But ada kata, understanding the the Christian religion, I don't know much lah. But all I know is that they say Jesus is the Son of God. Tu macam mana pula tu?
No, because Son of God ni, if kau ikut the Bible kan, dia refer to so many things tau. Adam was the Son of God. Tapi dia bukan son yang, you know, kau main habis keluar anak. You know, it's a metaphoric lah. You know,
because he say Nabi Isa AS came from Mother Mary, right? So they say that he's a form of macam God in a way,
because tak ada bapa.
Correct. But for us, kalau if you really to relate back, kenapa kau tak sembah Nabi Adam AS? Wasn't he without any parents?
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He had no mom, he had no dad, but he was the first creation.
And Christians also believe
for him. Yeah,
in the
so-
story of Adam and Eve.
Yeah. So why don't you, if you believe that Adam is the first human,
Okay. Let me try to do this. Brother, if you believe that Jesus is God because he has no father, then you should worship Adam. He has no mother, no father.
So, ladies and
that's a very good
gentlemen, that is our special guest for today in our podcast, Zakir, Dr. Zakir Nair.
kau lupa the brother is a very good question.
Thank you, brother. Brother, very good question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I mean, we are not here to discriminate.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just based on what
This
we
is
understand.
Our thought
Correct.
processes
our
lah.
thought,
Like,
correct.
for I mean, if a Christian want to see this, I want you guys to macam see like this is how we think, but
Correct.
not to ridicule. It's more of why we cannot eventually accept.
Comprehend. Or, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, like what we say, this is our religious journey. These are the kind of questions that we have in our head. And I'm sure some of them can relate also. Because, you know, definitely while growing up, in fact, not only growing up, right now also some people are still questioning about their faith. You know?
Which I would say the current generation.
Tapi the thing yang aku macam tak boleh brain, okay, the New Testament ni, dia kirakan, okay, Old Testament aku macam tak ada issue lah because it's basically Torah.
Yeah.
Tapi New Testament ni, it cannot be Injil because dia selalu ada according to Mark, according to Luke, according to Matthew. Aku macam, wait, who are these 4 people? Aku look it up.
And
Bro, they have never met Jesus,
they've
bro.
never met. And they wrote this like 100 years after Jesus passed.
Bro.
You know? So it's, to me, it's quite difficult to understand because as Muslim, like kita ada Quran and we have hadith.
Yeah, and the
hadith,
trace is all the way connected kan?
Ada hadis sahih. Ya, hadis macam yang paling popular hadis Imam Al-Bukhari, you know,
Imam Muslim,
you know.
Aku bukan Imam Muslim.
But these people have traces macam his father was who, his grandfather was who.
Dia ada lineage
Dia ada
dia.
lineage.
There's a consistent heritage to it lah, basically.
Correct.
There's no...
Correct.
No, and another thing, aku tanya because when aku look into the whole Christian faith, aku tanya aku punya member Christian now. Wait, the earliest Christians were the Jewish Christians tau. Because Jew orang salah faham. Orang ingat Jew is agama Yahudi.
Yeah.
Tak.
Yeah.
Judaism is agama. Jew is the punya race, bangsa.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
Jewish race kan.
Yes.
So aku macam, okay, so the earliest Christians were the Jews. They orang this tribe called the Ebionites. So for that first 300 to 400 years, they were the ones closest to Nabi Isa punya time. They only followed Nabi Isa but they never worship. And they were Christians. They were Christians because they follow Nabi Isa as the prophet.
Yeah.
Not the two. Basically macam Orthodox Christians. Orthodox Christian, the difference is they don't worship Jesus. They believe Jesus to be dia punya prophet.
Yeah.
Tapi diorang tak move on to Rasulullah lah. So macam aku macam tertanya, wait, if the earliest Christians did not have this concept of Trinity and followed it, 300-400 years later after Jesus baru ada. Korang tak rasa benda tu alarming ke?
Macam ada that 300-400 years gap. But why is it consistent there? Terus
But apparently within that 300 to 400 years, there were certain small groups that start to believe in Trinitarian. Mainly because of this guy called Paul. So Trinitarian ni, the Trinity punya denomination where you see Protestant, Anglican ni semua kan. Eventually it's Paul punya teaching. So siapa Paul ni?
Yeah.
Paul ni basically is macam apa tau, macam apostle punya, bukan apostle, apa, disciple punya disciple or something like that lah. He's not directly linked to Jesus lah.
kira ni Paul dia dah salah bikin lah. Dia dah bikin dia punya understanding lah.
So and I read on some of the historical terms there are certain historical records, I don't know authentic or not lah, you know, but I've read it. Apparently some of the disciple yang direct dengan Jesus actually condemn Paul punya ajaran. Dia when Paul came back to Nazareth ke apa, Jerusalem apa kan, the disciple macam kutuk dia, macam ibarat kau syirik saja macam gini.
Oh really?
Yes.
I mean like what you say, I mean we don't know the authenticity of that also,
But
it's
there are a
something
few
that
sources,
you
bro.
read
I
already
kid you not. And the thing is, when I look for sources, aku do not look for anti-religion sources. You know, some of them is academia punya. So according to some academics, and some of them are Christians themselves that actually verified these things.
Yeah.
So apparently, yang kita nampak Trinitarian Christianity ni, it is made popular because Paul had a very strong influence dengan the Roman Empire. Waktu tu Roman, all roads lead to Rome kan?
Yeah.
The whole of Europe was Rome. And if kau tengok modern Christianity yang Trinitarian tu, mainly is Europe dengan US. US came from Europe apa? English all go there. So Trinitarian is most popular there in these regions because of Paul had a very strong influence over the Romans. And Paul punya ajaran contradict whatever Nabi Isa say. For example, tak boleh makan swine, tak boleh makan babi.
Yeah.
Paul cakap these rules macam tak boleh makan babi, tak boleh minum, tak apa-apa kan. These are rules only for the Jews, not the Gentiles or something like that. Gentiles meaning the non-Jewish or something like that. Basically a special rule lah.
So
because Jesus died for our sins, so kita just need to believe in him and we are free.
Oh.
So in other words, kalau aku bunuh kau right now and aku just accept Jesus, confess, dah habis tau. Aku dah tak ada apa-apa.
Yeah. That's why the Sunday Mass or Saturday is very important. Because when they meet the pastors, is where aku macam kena confess dosa aku. So basically kalau this week aku nak buat dosa rabak-rabak, right? All I need to do is this Sunday aku just confess, I'm clean.
Lepas tu dah. Dia ingat senang-senang ke apa?
No, but there are Christians yang cakap kau kena sincere because they say that kalau kau betul-betul embrace Jesus, then kau wouldn't do all this. But it's as simple as kau just need to do a confession and your sin is okay.
Yeah.
So Paul punya ajaran ni dia macam very too idealistic it sounds too perfect
Yeah.
Macam you just need to embrace the Trinity and that's it, heaven is for you. So aku pun banyak question lagi bro, aku tertanya. Aku macam ask so many questions yang it's sad to know that, I'm sorry to say this but based on my personal perspective and the people that I have met and I have spoken to about religion, and this was before I found faith in Islam tau.
Yeah.
It's just me trying to be open-minded no. I even, and last aku ni jenis very blunt. Aku cakap bro, if you like that then you blind faith you can't even authenticate. Because you see the New Testament, Mark, Luke, Matthew, John, these are not Hebrew names.
Yeah. Correct.
How did...
It's more Roman names. Roman names,
I don't know lah, but okay. One of the first problem I had with the Bible is yang the language Aramaic ni dah tak wujud. They only have like the surface level of Aramaic existing today, but it's almost like Sanskrit, dah macam non-existent dah. So the original language of Jesus or Isa is Aramaic. So aku dah macam mana aku nak authenticate kalau the original language dah tak ada So okay lah, you know what, open mind lah. Let's go to the Hebrew language, the cousin of it. Because the three bangsa, Arab, Hebrew, Aramaic, dia macam saudara lah. So aku look at the Hebrew language. Dan aku tengok Hebrew language, once kau dah translate to Roman then English, bro, banyak makna dah lain
So this is what they call lost in translation.
Betul.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and like even the word like macam God or gods, sometimes the way they what follows after a noun or a pronoun, the way Hebrew language and Arabic language works differently. English is different. So that's why some things dia dah jadi salah makna tau. Habis aku macam terfikir, wait, the earliest completion of Testament, all this New Testament came few hundred years later So aku macam, how am I supposed to believe these dudes?
Yeah.
They don't sound like Jesus. And the reason why Jesus became Jesus is because of Romanify, Greekify. And if you notice, Greek name kan banyak ends with S.
Yeah.
Nicopolides, Zeus, Hercules, Socrates, so they actually changed Yeshua to Jesus. But if you are gonna stay true to whoever you're worshipping, shouldn't you not translate the name? So aku had so many questions but to me it's like, okay lah, maybe translation is just small matter lah. Let's just go into the inti the content of it Cannot bro, so many things that went against my hope Aku was hoping, maybe Christian is the way. Then aku macam, okay lah, let's look at Catholicism. Wah, Catholicism even amongst Christians, dia ibarat Sunni dengan Syiah tau.
Yeah.
Sunni tak accept Syiah, Syiah tak accept Sunni, Trinitarian tak accept Catholic, Catholic tak accept Trinitarian.
Yep.
Upside because of the ideology, because of the idea, or like how they preach it, or what?
To Trinitarians, the main group of Christians ni, diorang syirik sebab diorang idol worshipping.
For who? Trinitarians.
The Christians that we see nowadays, they look against Catholicism as idol worshipping because they worship the statue, they worship Saint Marco, Mother Mary, Saint this, Saint that.
Diba Italian.
Okay,
Saint Marco.
No, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why, brother. Okay. So Catholicism was actually widespread from the conquistador, the Spanish region.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because if you look at history, kan pernah English pernah rule, Dutch pernah rule, Spanish pernah rule. So it was the conquistador punya era where they spread Catholicism Itu yang Philippines pun they were influenced and all, because anything yang
because of the
Spanish influence is Catholicism. Most of it. That's why diorang ada saint all the different saint diorang
Saint
macam
Louis.
Syiah, kita kan cakap Syiah ni agungkan imam. Diorang macam deify diorang punya saint. That's the gist of it lah. I don't want to macam faham, but that's what I read. And whatever little memory I can remember, that's what I understand lah. Orthodox Christians yang aku macam okay, dia macam tak ada masalah, because dia tak ada tambah-tambah.
Macam dia panggil ahli kitab lah.
Macam pengikut Nabi Isa lah.
Orang kitab orang panggil lah. The way lah.
The people of the book lah.
Yeah, they don't eat swine. They don't drink alcohol. They sunat, whatever.
I follow sunat. Speaking of apa?
Kau sunat.
Sunat banyak sangat.
Patut lah. Patut lah.
That's a good reason lah. Sunat banyak kali. Yeah, but I mean, speaking of Orthodox Christian, I'm always Orthodox.
Yeah.
But I have to use that voice. I've always been interested in Orthodox Christianity. You know, macam are there any Orthodox Christians in Singapore?
I think there's very few.
Just a small.
I have a few friends that
Can.
Really?
But it's a very small. It's one of the three main denomination, but it's amongst the smaller denomination. Catholicism and Trinitarians are the wider spread.
Okay.
Because I think there's even deeper, like, you know, kalau kau dah macam alim ulama, you can speak tongue. Kau pernah dengar, right? Yeah. So there are different segregation lah. I mean, it's quite common because I mean there were different kings that came in to write the Old and the New Testament. So that's why like there are still some old school yang still prefer to follow yang kitab Injil yang very very original. Yang
kira the kitab Injil the real original.
Bro, macam gini bro, all the different versions of Bible is according to the ruler at that point of time. King James version was suka hati King James lah, dia nak buat apa. The Lutherans is because of, tak salah aku, King Luther. Habis King Constantine pun ada dia punya own ruling, and they just remove certain verses or add in certain verses to suit their narrative. And this is historical by the way. This is something that if the Christians actually go and learn about it, they would know. It's not like it's not a conspiracy. It's memang they are openly collecting, tracing it back. That is the kings yang do the amendments of the New Testaments. Because idol worshipping is not something they themselves could also fully understand. You know, they cannot explain, but they just do it. You know, for us, like, kita as long as we just and some people like misunderstand Muslims. We are worshipping Kaabah. No, we are not worshipping the Kaabah.
It's just a direction.
It's a direction to unify the Muslims together. You know, so regardless. And the beautiful thing about Islam is that you can go to, if you notice, you can go to different parts of the world. You know, kau boleh pergi ulu-ulu, but everybody reads the same Quran. It's very authentic. It's being protected. So you can sit down together with someone from a different, you know, like race, you know, language. But when you read it, it's very unified. So that's why like say lah, like compared to many other scriptures, you know, kita punya it's more unified lah. In a way.
But you know before aku accepted Islam wholeheartedly aku found out this particular place yang diorang cakap there are several versions of the Quran. Aku terus macam what's that all about?
Oh dang. Okay.
Okay, so apparently at first aku macam before aku found out about this aku dah macam okay, I think I accept Islam already because I haven't got to Islam kan. But ni bila aku dah betul-betul okay dengan Islam, then member aku cakap, see, I show you this link, some professor, and there's a debate about it, you know, there are several versions of the Quran. Aku terus macam macam cognitive dissonance aku baru je accept agama ni because aku rasa dah macam perfect apa sih ni version. So apparently bro, it's not version of the meaning, is the recitation style.
The what?
Recitation style.
That cara dia baca lah.
Kalau kau tahu in Malaysia, they can also repeat baca dia. Like macam
kita ikut apa
tak, macam kita like alif, lam, mim, and then they can come out with a different dialect. Ikut juga. But it's not different makna. It's the same thing. It's just cara recitation dia.
Cara dia baca lain lah.
Correct. Correct, lain je. So these are the people yang, that's why I say like asal usul agama basis this is how I was brought up. You know, asal usul agama, you know, it's very important for us as parents to send the kids as a basis, you know. But kita as parents also must be practicing. Because nanti budak tak faham. When you ask question, oh itu je lah. If not, ask your ustazah. You cannot do that as parents, you know. Ask your ustazah lah. You go sekolah agama for what?
Correct.
You know, some parents will answer like that. But you know, you are the...
You gotta lead by example.
Yeah.
Dia ikut contoh apa.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, I mean, this is where, to me lah, macam for us, I mean, just a disclaimer once again that, you know.
That's the word.
Kiraat,
Ada 7 lain kiraat.
Yeah.
Kiraat?
Yeah.
Kiraat dia apa?
Dia macam ada bertelur lah. Ada telur.
Oh, dia bertelur. Kira macam dia punya logat dia.
Bro, it's very interesting. You should
But
read out.
you imagine, because of that, aku goyang sikit saya. Ada lain version. Lagi bila kau Google pula kadang-kadang bagi kau all sorts kan. Aku tu macam salah aku nak belajar Google. Aku dah confused lah. So aku tanya some of those people yang aku tahu would know all this kan. Dia cakap tak, version in terms of recitation style. So dia explain. Aku dah tak ingat explanation dia. Tapi bila dia explain tu, aku macam dapat tangkap. It was very clear. Tapi aku dah tak ingat lah. Yeah.
Actually, aku have a very interesting story to share about myself also.
Alright.
So, kau dah habis kan kau punya part kan?
Aku belum get to Muslim.
Belum
tapi
lagi,
tak apa, you continue bro. Kita
Tak apa.
campur-campur lah.
Tak payah get to Muslim lah. Dia dekat sini.
You see, you should start bro. You see what you've done. Continue bro.
Yeah. So, like I was saying right, when I was in my teens, aku question, like macam kadang-kadang my parents kalau kita keluar jalan, okay, time waktu solat, I get very angry tu. Aku macam like, kenapa?
Macam kacau.
Why can I just go out, like pergi akid kan, nanti sebelum makan pergi solat dulu. Aku dah macam, apa sah ni? Aku get very angry.
Potong steam lah.
Aku rasa a lot of people can relate to that.
You know macam tak ikhlas tau, marah tau. And then I'm like, you know, mama ayah dulu pun macam gini apa. Right, asal tiba-tiba like, why can't I have my fun when you already had yours? But because they know, that's why as parents, they ensure that we do not go into
Break the
path.
cycle.
Yeah, correct. So along the way, I went to deeper my knowledge into Islam lah. You know, and to me, it has to make sense like Win, but I don't do as much research as him. To me, I'm more of a person that it has to make sense whereby macam what I can see around. So for example, like if I were to sit down and I look at the sun, there must be a creator of the sun. And macam like I have a few friends that are atheists, right? Macam aku like, humans are so complex. We have brains that works better than a memory card. You know, we have organs that functions better than a machine.
Eyes better than cameras.
Yeah. You know, and how can we just die and nothing happens after that? It must be something, like there must be a creation. And look at our fingers. If you look here, let's say you have your thumb here. After a thumb, there's your finger.
Index finger.
Then after that you have your middle
The best
For Ahmad lah.
Yeah. Yeah, for Ahmad especially.
For Ahmad finger. This is called the Ahmad finger.
Yeah. And you have this ibu jari
No,
Ni
wedding
apa?
finger.
Wedding finger lah they call it.
Wedding ring.
Yeah, and you have the
wedding
pinky
ring pula.
Ring finger lah.
Yeah,
Ring
and you
finger.
have, and you have the pinky finger. Right? When you look at it,
Boy.
right? So it's one after another. But meaning, people will explain, they will ask you like, before the thumb, is there anything? There cannot be anything before the thumb. So the thumb must be before the thumb, must be something that oversees every single thing.
Mike sampai jauh tu, kesian.
So macam like, okay, so what does the pinky finger signify? It's the ending. So macam sama juga, itu macam hari kiamat apa. So it cannot be forever. It must have an end. But you also cannot question what's before the thumb.
Tapi kalau orang yang ada 2 thumb tu,
Macam Kritik Roshan macam habis kau dah
dia ada,
tak cakap
betul lah.
Dia ada multiple universe.
dia kira dia ada the
Dia ada
before.
kelebihan Dia ada kelebihan
Dia ada prequel lah kira.
So I'm like, I look at my fingers, I'm like, yeah, actually you can put life like that, you know. There's one after another, but there must be an end. But the creator cannot be within these fingers and thumbs. You know, he must be the
out,
almighty. Yeah, he must be the one like macam like he said, like it must be overseeing every single thing. So for me, this is just a simpler way for me to remind myself.
Your understanding
lah. Yeah,
lah.
my understanding.
Your understanding of it lah.
So what happened was, after I love the history of Islam, and my stepping stone towards learning Islam was actually watching The Messenger. Have you watched it?
Oh yes bro.
The
Solid.
Messenger.
Yeah,
The
it's
Messenger.
a classic bro. I think 70s ke 80s kan.
Kau tengok, kau nasihat dia sikit.
That's why dia Ahmad no Muslim. I see dia salah.
Oh, yeah, by what? Siapa? Anthony Quinn.
I don't
Anthony
remember,
Quinn
but
was one
aku
of
thought
that
it was like 70s ke 80s
Yes.
kan. Yeah.
Bro, it's a wonderful.
Kau imagine throughout the movie, they cannot show the prophet, right?
Yeah.
So the prophet view is the camera.
Yeah.
He's just the camera.
Yeah,
talk.
he's the cameraman.
And there's no voice.
Yeah. You know.
That means when people talk to him, they will just respond as if he talk.
Yeah.
They never create a voice or image for him.
Yeah. Stick. Macam like Rasul pegang stick, right? Atau ni atas kamera. So it's just the cameraman. You know, that's how much they respect Rasulullah and also para sahabat. You know, they did not create an image out of them. So when I watched that, I'm like, actually Islam tu indah. And you know, they had this debate with the, not debate lah. Like,
The Christian king
Yeah, the Christian king.
Basically what happened was
Yeah.
orang was on the run. So they went to the Byzantine Empire.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the Byzantine that time were Christians. You know?
Yeah.
So the Arabs were chasing this baru,
Quraish.
the Ummah baru lah.
Yeah.
Ummah baru ni kan. So they went to seek refuge. And then the Arabs ni semua macam kutuk Dia cakap like what kind of teachings do they have saying that women are equal to us lah apa-apa.
Yeah.
They are only for our whims and pleasures or
Yeah.
something like that lah
right.
kan. So after that, one of the ummah ni, dia cakap lah, how can you speak like that about the womb who bore you?
Yeah, you know.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Macam
okay.
apa maksud kau perempuan ni adalah objek lah untuk buat pakai lah. Kau boleh cakap gitu pasal womb yang bore kau.
Yeah.
Oh, that one hit deep lah.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very deep. And even the king asked, so tell me, what does your prophet teach you about the book? You know, so he goes explaining about the Mother Mary, you know.
And Jesus came from Mother Mary with no father, miraculous birth.
And Jesus spoke from the cradle, you know. So yeah, like, that's the gist about the movie. Like, if you guys want to go find out and watch it, it's called The Messenger. It's a solid movie. It's 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours. You got to watch that. But anyways, going back to my story. So after I watched that, so satu hari ni, my parents ajak aku pergi umrah. Okay, so this is the interesting part lah. Aku macam takut. You know, typical orang tu, Syah, kalau pergi umrah situ nanti apa yang kau buat dosa kau dapat balasan balik. You know, typical dulu-dulu suka cakap, you know. And I'm like, really if itu tempat balasan, then nobody wants to go. Semua orang buat dosa. Then I think God is being too, you know, unfair. Nak punish kita kalau kita pergi umrah. For me, if aku pergi umrah atau haji, it's where Allah dah jemput kau datang to His house. You know, to get the full reward, the full experience. Not to punish you. Then to me, it makes sense that way. So aku pergi kelas umrah, you know, and I was taught there. I was like, wow, it's actually beautiful. So I was still very indecisive. My whole family dah bayar package umrah, but I've not yet. You know, but they have actually reserved a spot for me. So mak aku bilang, Ali, dah decide? I say, belum mama. And at the back of my head, I'm like, kalau my family keluar, I have alone time to myself, kereta. But I don't club lah. Aku just want to enjoy life. I experience what it is like, you know, being no government lah. No government lah. You know?
Kira resign tadi lah.
Terus mak aku cakap, okay, why not Adi solat istiara? You know, and then, you know, from there, you might not get the answers whereby like somebody tells you something, but it's just the process. And that's solat istihara. Right? So there was this one fine day after aku remember, after the consecutive 3 days. So how you know is basically you're getting almost the same dream every single time. You know? But it's different a little bit. It's not exactly the same, but it's very similar. So my dream was, aku dah tidur. Okay, so aku dah baca, dah solat. So aku tidur. And then suddenly, I had a whole dream about hari kiamat. So,
that would convince anybody.
Yeah.
Heavy.
Okay, so very scary, bro. So ini hari kiamat. So aku literally, I remember correctly. I was standing at MBS yang atas kota yang apa tu?
Yang boat tu.
Yang atas tu lah. So I was standing there, and suddenly I heard people screaming like, lari, selamatkan diri, ini hari kiamat. You know, and I was like looking around, and my family members were holding me tight. You know, diorang tengah baca, you know, and like they were just bracing for a time for them to be taken away lah. And suddenly like I saw like meteors, you know, moon clashing, and then and I saw like parent, mak yang terkejut nampak hari kiamat ni tiba-tiba terberanak. You know, and mak yang tengah menyusukan anak, they just throw the baby away just to save themselves, which is in the hadith. You know, they explain. So I'm like, this is so scary, you know. So, and I saw like, tsunamis, but the tsunamis was full of fire. Everybody was running. The world was going to a chaos, collapse, earthquake. So basically, I saw like Singapore and the world just went disappearing in front of my eyes. And then what happened was, aku sampai dekat Paramasha. It was continuation of the dream. So it was just a brief, quick one lah between what actually happened. So luckily enough, they say, so ada macam satu malaikat tau bawa aku, look at these 2 doors. One door, bawah tu keluar api panas. Kau boleh dengar orang pergi. And the other door was so calm. Then your door, please walk towards there. Aku cakap, api neraka? Aku dah takut sah bro. And when they open, I could smell the burn of like human being burn, It was so scary bro. And then after that, I'm like, no, aku takut. Then suddenly malaikat cakap, no, welcome to this side. It was just like macam acak aku tau. Then aku masuk dalam.
Oi, dia punya malaikat jaga gurau.
Takut
Lu kena Jack.
So what happened was,
Lu kena Jack.
I mean, this is not as accurate as how it will be lah. But it's just a brief of what actually
This is what you dreamt.
Yeah, so I dreamt.
Dang.
Yeah bro. And then after that, aku masuk dalam satu macam like it's syurga. But I cannot describe it because like, it's very...
I'm so sorry. Bila kau cakap aku masuk dalam satu, in my head, the word container pops up. I don't know why.
Asal container?
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
Asal container?
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, moving on to my story. So, it's a beautiful white place. It's just very bright. It smells very nice. But what was amazing was that you saw everybody kumpuling one side. Semua orang tak pakai putih. It's not ihram, but it's just, it's a very clean attire. Everybody smelled nice. And you look like, especially in the description, like, they ada beard, you smell nice. It's in clean shave. But I saw like, there's this one figure ada beard tau. So, as I was walking towards there, and then somebody like macam like there's a whisper, look to your left. Aku nampak Kaabah. Like all these distinctive places like macam Uhud, it's all there dalam syurga. It's being protected, And then after that, as I was walking towards this direction, there was like a lot of commotion, like waiting for something. Aku biar aku, mana ayah? Mana mama? Where's my family? I was making such a big noise until I felt like somebody pinching me very hard. Until today, I can feel it here. Macam ni sakit tau. Aku like, sakit lah. Then aku pusing. So there's this very good looking man.
Kau that time lu kenal aku apa?
Hah?
Kau that time lu kenal aku? Kau dah jumpa aku kat dalam
Diam lah. Actually aku kan. Aku nak juga. I mean, bila kau cakap good looking man, that caught my attention. Because that's me. Okay.
Aku tak nak kurang ajar.
Orang nak dia pun nak.
So aku saw this good looking man, and I say, who are you to pinch me? And but I couldn't see his face clearly, But he say, I am Musa. Aku dah macam, what?
Tapi kau punya happen in English Kau punya dream happen in English
Melayu.
Okay.
But I'm just trying
translation
to
kira in translation. Tapi kira kau hang. Kau
kira it was just a dream It was just a dream. So after that, like he said, be quiet. There's something that's gonna pop up in front. So just put your attention and give your attention there. So I saw a beautiful white figure going in front. So he say, that's actually Rasulullah. But I cannot see the face. I cannot see the face. Even like Nabi Musa also, I cannot. Like you see the G's of it, but I cannot describe to you accurately what's the face. Which I also don't know how it look. How this apa they call it Anbiya. All the prophet they look like what. But Rasulullah was very distinctive. Like he's just a very clean white figure.
The cleanest one there.
Yeah. It was so beautiful, bro. And when I woke up, aku macam tiba-tiba bangun saja. Bila aku dah bangun, menggeletar. Aku tengah menggeletar. I was having close up. Aku dah takut. And I straight away, for the first time in my life, I still remember I was 24 years old. Aku buka pintu bilik mak bapak aku. Aku nangis depan dia. Aku, Mama, ayah, Ali takut. Ni mak bapak aku pun
Gembeng, cry baby.
Syah kental Syah masuk
Ada badan sado.
Kental Syah badan sado. Benda.
Aku kan manusia.
Betul, kita manusia.
So for the first time I was like crying so badly, and I told my parents I was so afraid. And mak aku apa Syah ni? Tiba-tiba like astaghfirullah, apa Ali, what happened? So my mom, she hold my hand, she sat me down on the bed, and dia baca ayat kursi. And my father was there. That was the first time, like, I mean, like the last time when kau tahu kau demam time kecil, your parents are the one doing that. But kau tahu dah besar, it still comforts you that your parents are still there. And they came down, bapak aku pegang kaki aku, Ali, okay. Then I explained to them about the dream. And he said like, Masya Allah, astaghfirullah. So, but kita also nak tahu, asal-usul ni mimpi gangguan syaitan ke? Atau is it betul? So, I went to meet a particular ustaz to explain to him, told him about the timing and the event that happened. Then he said, Masya Allah, you are lucky. You are the lucky one. It's not easy to get this kind of dream, but maybe your hati ikhlas. You really wanted to go, but there was just something that kind of stopped you in between. And ever since that day, I was so, like macam, so yakin lah that Islam is the religion, alhamdulillah.
Okay, when you say this kan, the first thing I had was a flashback of my younger life. Dulu time aku macam not really sure about Islam. Orang kalau cakap gini, you're no different than the Christians. I felt Jesus in my dream, I felt him touching my heart. It's all emotion based. I don't believe in it. Aku dulu gitu tau. Then aku macam teringat, dia kalau cakap gini dulu mesti aku tak terima tau.
Definitely. Because at the end of the day, it's a dream. I mean, it's your dream lah.
That's why I had to clarify whether ini satu gangguan syaitan or is it just a real thing. But Ustaz cakap, alhamdulillah, it's something positive. But whatever it is, we will only know when we get there. But it's just a sign for you to, it's just a calling for you to go Umrah. And maybe your hati ikhlas. So it was not anything like whereby, you're lucky because you nampak all these figures, because that's not what Islam teaches us. So like for me, like after since that point, it's like, alhamdulillah, then dapat pergi Umrah. So that's just basically the journey.
When did you go Umrah?
2016.
About 6 years ago.
6 years ago, which I was 24 lah. 24.
I'm planning to go again this year, right?
InsyaAllah.
Amin.
Ahmad, daripada tadi kita je tahu cerita. Kau tak ada cerita?
Aku cerita sampai sekarang tak habis.
Menyesal aku tanya.